Today is the start of the Anduril 250 NASCAR event at Naval Base Coronado. It's the big carrier base. It's also an airport in Coronado. This is not the NASCAR event right here, but this is Speed Fest. Now, every year or so, they have Speed Fest, which all these antique race cars come in and race each other. It is awesome. And here you see some of these old race cars, and if you're a NASCAR nut, you're gonna love this video because it's a lot of machines and fast cars. Naval Station Coronado is gigantic, huge place, and it's running planes in and out of there, jets in and out of there constantly, and super carriers. And part of the event is going to be part of the track at this event today is going to cross paths with the super carrier. I think it's the USS Carl Vinson. Huge super carrier. 5,000 folks live on that thing on deployment. Big responsibility for America. So this track's pretty cool. And right now I'm here at this event because we have a little part to play in the Speed Fest, this festival. We brought one of our boats so the fans can check it out, or whoever's at the Speed Fest. Civilians can come in. The part of the whole event is civilian. Civilians are allowed to come in. And so we drove a boat over there so our base is southern Coronado, and we drove a boat over there. Cool cars, huh? So while my guys are working, I'm over here taking pictures of the racing event right here. They're letting me come pretty close because I have a uniform on. And fast cars. Part of the event was after this, they would give us race tours. We got to get in cars ourselves, and I'll show you that in a second. But I've never really, there's an American fascination with NASCAR, and I've never been to a NASCAR event. But I drove by the stadium up there, northern Florida. I believe it's the Daytona Stadium, humongous stadium. I couldn't believe how big that stadium was. Bigger than any football field I've ever seen. I've never been to the event, but tell you, when you get this close to that speed and the machines gargling, the smell of the gas, you get it, you understand the fascination. I think Anduril, the sponsor of this event, is the one making drones. Anduril? Isn't that jazzy dude with the flower shirts? I'm glad we have those types of human beings working for us instead of them, I'd be real scared if he was on the other side. But it's his event. There's beautiful Coronado. My gosh. Expensive there. $1 million houses everywhere. Well, multi-million-dollar houses. $1 million condos. One of the most beautiful hotels in California. There's some military got in on Coronado housing. Like, they bought it when it was dirt cheap in the 50s, 60s. And those houses are millions of dollars now. So you have some old, bosun mate over there and owns $1 million home in Coronado, California. But the problem with living there is it's constantly loud. As you could tell right here, this is pretty loud. It's going to be a nuisance for the neighborhood, the whole Speed Fest. But nonetheless, very safe, that whole place. There's not much crime whatsoever there. I was awakened many times. The Navy SEALs, I lived in Imperial Beach, was south, and they have a training area. And they would shoot stuff, and I would get so freaked out. And you would hear if you live in Imperial Beach by the border down south, where the actual the fence is in the water, the Navy SEALs do stuff out there. And also it's protected very heavily by the U.S. Coast Guard, so there is drug stuff and shootouts and such. So the fans are out there watching the cars go by. Military members get to do it for free. They can come and check out Speedfest. I think this festival lasts all day, and the races keep getting more interesting. But yeah, I love the pageantry of the U.S. military, and they really do a lot to bring the sailors some sort of like relief from the everyday realities of being a sailor. You know, they really reach out and try to help you. They have movie theaters on bases. That was actually one of my favorite things. They would get free movies. You know, like if the UFC is on, the UFC will be running all over the base. They get it all for free, or, you know, pay-per-view fights and stuff like that. It's free. Pretty neat, man. I missed out. I mean, I'm nostalgic about that. You know, we'd be out to sea watching a boxing match of the Super Bowl. I remember watching the Super Bowl in Kandahar, Afghanistan. I was sitting alone in this remnant of this. They used to have this square. I don't remember the terminology, but there was all these restaurants in Afghanistan. It was really a poppin' place. People would go there to hang out, you know. It was poppin'. And it was just bones when I was there. And they had they had a coffee shop, and they had a couple shops open, but everything had closed down. And I'm sitting there watching the Super Bowl on a wooden bench. Nobody around me. Just totally, it was just a surreal situation. Here's a BMW race. Now, the people in the cars there, those are people like us, regular people. We're getting these high-speed drives as a gift. You know, we sign up on a list, or we draw a ticket or whatever, and we get to be in the car. And I think we get in there pretty soon. Johnny and I get into the car itself. Now, this day, you can see the airplane, the jets in the background too. It's pretty cool. This day brings me a little bit of heartache, because I had one of the most major crash outs that I've ever had. My EN3, my BM2, no, my BM3 at the time, they came here 30 minutes late. I was really pissed off. I blew my stack, and I felt bad about that. Look at this. Here's a competition. The sailors are competing against each other, the ships. A NASCAR-style event there. I'm in there taking photos and stuff, but pretty neat. But yeah, I had a crash out. All that engine, you know, all that speed all around me. I got a little loose, and I felt bad about it afterwards. But I was a real stickler on getting to work on time when you were in the Navy, because I don't know, it's just my thing. Wake up early, get there an hour early, be ready to rock. And when people don't show up, I get pissed. And in a stroke of complete, justice and karma, whatever you call it, my most regrettable moment in the U.S. military was being late. I was late twice. Somebody that woke me up once I was late on a warship, wakes me up. I didn't wake up. And he just had a smile on his face. He wasn't pissed. And I chewed him out all the time. But this particular next event was my last duty day in the U.S. Navy. I was out. And I had requested to do my dress uniforms. I had requested for colors. So it was in dress whites. Got my dress whites as white and perfect as they've ever been. Dude, I got them cleaned up, dry cleaned. My ribbon rack is thick. shiny, lots of freaking candy. I asked for that. They said, "Do you want to just take off your last day?" I'm not even kidding you. No, I want to do this. I want to do colors one more time. Lo and behold, I don't wake up for it. I was drinking a lot back then. I don't wake up, dude. Missed colors, late for work, late for the U.S. military. I had the worst watch schedule, of course. They gave me the balls to 4, which is midnight to 4 a.m. watch, as well as a 24-hour watch as Master at Arms. I asked for it. I told them to give me the worst watches and whatever. The Chiefs were so pissed at me. There's Johnny getting in a Beamer. I'm getting in the back seat. We're going to do a little racing by ourselves. Pretty Nate here. And that's why I didn't want you guys to be late, guys. There's a lot of cool things we get to do. Show up early. Golly. And it's just kind of like hypocritical, you know. I feel totally hypocritical. So I just think it's a good trait in a human being to get to work early. It works more than it doesn't. All right, there's the machines. All the machines, different commands came by. I think Beachmaster Unit had one machine there. They had all kinds of different commands. Bring their machines and give tours. Talk about it with the family members or whoever, the civilians. There's our little boat. I mean, we don't have anything that cool. There's the robot. You can see this is a very advanced robot for the time. EOD runs these robots. This is a bomb robot. You see it has a lot of cameras or whatever, so they're really good at running these robots. And now the technology is much more different. It's much more advanced. But here's one of the stations. The robot's going to steal this young Italian lady's phone here. Yeah. If she could only tell, in a couple years, AI is going to be doing wind sprints with their robots, you know. But everybody's just having a good time. Just getting loose. A break from the monotony. The problem is, it's Saturday. It's the weekend, right? Well, obviously not today. Speed Fest. We had it on a Saturday. So there's the robot. Oh, man. They start them young, and you'll see a lot of my pictures of this event. They show, like, kids with machine guns. I'll show that after here. I love that. Get the kids holding on to a machine gun early. I just find that pretty ironic, but it's true, you know. In reality, it is ironic because the people holding machine guns are 17 to 24-year-olds. They are kids by all rights, and they have to do a pretty mature thing in life, which is to operate machinery that causes destruction or defeats destructive machinery. Got some young recruits here, guys. Future Navy sailors, future Navy EOD. We start them young here. This is really just a backdoor training pipeline. We're trying to find the brightest children available and put them on the scene. We need them holding Xbox controllers and controlling drones. Drone warfare actually started with Obama. He was flying drones before anybody. He was dropping ordnance like nobody's business. 10 times more than Bush did. Obama was crushing it. Okay, here's my photo reel. I think these are some of the most dangerous photos I've ever taken. Kids with machine guns, that's a dangerous topic. And then also, standing close to these machines while they're going as fast as they do is nerve-wracking. You know, if it goes off track, it can deck you. So, yeah. getting these pictures clear. A lot of them are blurry. They're going really fast. That's why it's hard to track them. It's hard to track, but Coronado Racing is going to be a cool event, I'm sure. And I'm sure it'll be really rewarding for the NASCAR drivers to be around the most powerful machines in the world. You know, the NASCAR race car is pretty advanced, but it's nothing like that super carrier. That's a nuclear machine right there. It can last out to sea for 24 years. 24 years. You'd have to swap out some sailors, I'm sure. I don't think there's any occasion where a ship would be out for 24 years. That would be horrible. What a pain in the butt. So there's a lot going on in Coronado this weekend. It's going to be a blast. And if you get a chance, go see if you can get into that. It'll be fun to see. Some more kids with guns. I mean, that's America, you know. We're kind of crazy that way. We just like, it's part of our culture. But yeah, here's us. We're giving high fives to everybody and giving some love to everybody. Putting kits on them, you know, getting them ready. This is what it feels like. But everybody wanted to see the helicopter door guns. We were talking about that in yesterday's video. But yeah. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you later. Blessings.